In this video, I show you how to jump through tracks in time in Serato DJ. Find out more coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video.
So now that we're in Traktor, let me show you exactly what I mean by jumping through the beat in time. So if I start this track, if I jump ahead, notice everything will always be in time. So notice that the phrasing of the song actually maintains itself. So you're not just like randomly jumping to random spots in the actual song. It stays in time, which is really cool. If you're kind of just going through a song, trying to find the build up, if you're doing like a EDM track or like a twerk or trap track or something like that where you're really worried about the actual phrasing, it gives you a little bit of a help. It gives you a little bit of a helping hand in that regard. So you'll always maintain that same kind of phrasing. Now, if I switch back over to Serato, in Serato, that actually isn't the case. Notice that when I jump through the track, it just jumps through to random spots. But there's actually a workaround with this. This actually uses the sync function in Serato, and I know that a lot of DJs out there get really, how can I put this lightly? Get really, critical about using sync. But in my opinion, if you're using it as a tool, outside of just, doing the beat matching for you, it really can be useful. So in this case, let's go to the setup, DJ preferences tab, and right here under sync mode, notice I keep mine usually at simple sync, but for this to work, we actually have to move to smart sync. So I'll go ahead, click on smart sync, and then if you notice, I have these two tracks loaded. I have the same track that I had loaded in Traktor, and then I have another track that's not the same BPM. So if I go ahead and start this track first, now I can go ahead and start the second track. Let's kind of get the phrasing right. I'll go ahead and hit sync. Activate it on both sides. Notice the BPMs are synced and the actual beat grids are synced at the same time. And I'll bring in the other track so you can hear that they are in sync. So it's in sync, but now here's the magic part, is that if I jump through the track, notice the phrasing still stays in sync as well. Now let me bring in the volume of the second track so you can actually hear it in action. So no matter where I jump through in the track, it's still, it's keeping the phrasing in sync perfectly. Which is really cool. It's something that I didn't know was possible until recently. So where would I find this useful? I wouldn't actually use this to kind of, actually have my tracks in sync, because I like to manually beat match. That's just me and the way I DJ. But I could see this being helpful, like I mentioned earlier in Traktor, where if I'm scrubbing through a track and trying to find like a build-up, just like this one right here, where it's kind of like a small drop and I can match it up with something similar in the other track, I could see that just using that function and scrubbing through and then turning sync off right away and then just doing it manually. So if you're looking for a way to get that same kind of jumping through tracks in time in Serato DJ, I hope this helps. Definitely something that was just brought to my attention, and it's a really killer feature that doesn't really get talked about.
So that's a look on how to jump through tracks in time in Serato DJ. So question of the day, What other features from Traktor Pro would you like to see Serato DJ implement? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click on subscribe right there. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.